to say it in layman's terms, they kind of changed the way how levels got to load. Which on the Wii U, if you've actually seen the loading screens, sometimes they would freeze and look like they were stuck. Well, that's actually just bad programming on their part. Alright, so now they're synced again. Cool. So both runners started, and first of all, you can see that Funky Kong has infinite rolling without a Body Kong character. And I do want to mention that there are no helpers or little Body Kongs with Funky Kong. It's Funky, Funky, and oh, it's only Funky Kong. I'm going to talk about those helpers a little bit later, but for now it's Funky. Outside of that, he has a double jump, and not only a double jump. There's this trick that only Funky can do because of the double thingy, and it's called the grab jump. And what the grab jump can do is, well, first of all, how do you do it? Jump, then grab, and then jump again. But what it does is it gives you just a little bit of height, making some jumps actually possible that even Funky with the double jump couldn't do. Also, GreenSnowDog has taken the lead because Newby had some problems with said grab jump. The timing can be a little bit finicky to do optimal, but luckily there's like a 5-second difference at most. Other things that Funky Kong can do are hovering, but that's something you'll see later. There is infinite air underwater. Talking about the hover, that's something that you only want to do to save yourself, or if you have to wait for something. But other than that, it does kill all of your momentum, so you don't want to use that in your stress, actually. And the last thing, GreenSnowDog not going for the jump, and Newby also isn't. You can jump off that enemy, and from that, immediately go up there rather than climbing. That's definitely one of the upsides of having Funky Kong. So the last thing that Funky Kong has to offer is this unlimited amount of health, and with unlimited, I mean only 5. And not only he can spare like 4 hit points before he dies, he will also not lose any powers like Donkey Kong will after only getting hit twice. Because back with Donkey Kong, Newby did a really nice, and GreenSnowDog unfortunately didn't get into the ending barrel. So with a grab jump and a roll, he can make it, but he's going back. Respawning the Monocle Monica. And he's just taking it slow. Oh, jokers. But yeah, like I said, a helper only has 2 hearts, and Donkey Kong has 2 hearts, totaling up to 4. And 6 if you start with Funky Kong mode. You can switch over back to Donkey Kong, and it's still a little bit of an easy mode, but other than that, if you get hit twice, then your Body Kong is gone. So damage boosting is something that Funky only can do effectively. And yes, the other thing, which I actually wanted to wait with, is Funky Kong can stand on spikes and not get damage. You can see GreenSnowDog currently being in the vertical thingy. And that is because this level is made for Cranky Kong, since he gets introduced in here. And boy, do I tell ya, he is the master for speedruns. Cranky Kong has a pogo stick, and Well, you can basically do ducktail moves, and the pogo actually doesn't subtract any speed values. Meaning if you go super fast, say you pogo, you stay super fast. At a price, because it's so hard to control. You definitely gotta remember where to do a full pogo, where to do light pogos, where to not do a pogo, and just roll. That kind of stuff. Before the Switch version came out, this game was so optimized. So both runners are currently busy. Albert? Busy with the first auto-scroller of the game. And you can see Newby just jump all over the place. It actually helps him speed up just a little bit. Only because jumping up slopes is faster, because it goes slower. But also it just pushes you just that little bit forward. Pork ducks over there. Newby might actually switch over to Donkey Kong in the fourth world, since he is an OG runner. Whereas GreenSnowDog probably will stay with Funky only, which definitely is not a bad thing. Because the whole Donkey Kong crew is hard to control, but he is faster in 3-3, 5 or 6-5, and the whole World 4. Well, while I still have some free time, I can probably explain the other two Kongs that Donkey Kong has. He has his old buddy Diddy Kong, back from DKC 1, 2, and Returns, and he only has a jetpack. So, while he's not extremely useful on land, because Dixie Kong is a better Diddy Kong, since she not only has a sort of hover, but also a flutter, wherein you gain a little bit of height. Diddy is only useful underwater because of his jetpack, and that makes him actually the fastest underwater. Alright, time for the first boss, Pompey, the Presumptuous. And now that Funky is here, this is actually one of the most broken bosses ever. Well, not per se broken, but most threaded. Newby was going for the God, which is a trick, or the name, for hitting the fishes as early as possible, because the earlier you kill these fishes, the sooner Pompey goes into his "you can attack me now" phase. See if GreenSnowDog goes for it. Oh, he is going for something else, it's Funky only, that's the early hit. However, he also failed there because he wants to gain a lot of height from jumping on two of these fishies. Stay there, wait for Pompey to return. Then hit on his head. Oh, maybe here? No. That is only happening in the first phase. Speaking of which, Newby currently is in the second phase, and SnowDog is entering the second phase. Every boss in this game has 3 phases, and each phase has 3 hit points. So a total up to 9 hits. Alright, there's one more chance for the God for Newby. You can definitely see that Newby is still loyal to old cranky straps. Yeah, he hits the fish in the air without it touching the ground, making that earlier than, well, I guess intended? And that's what we call the God. And that's Pompey for Newby. Oh, look at GreenSnowDog. He might go for the early hit, and unfortunately, did not lose a little bit too late. He was on the right place though. Unfortunately, if you get too close, those wall rains or waldos or whatever they're called, they will actually throw you away. So you do want to be careful there and just don't rush in. Alright, it's time for World 2, which is where the difficulty definitely steps up. There are bottomless pits in here, more of them, and even, or especially with Cranky Kong, it's pretty difficult since he has no air control. Whereas Dixie Kong and Funky Kong definitely has some saving aspects, where if they are going to fall, they're definitely going to wait just a little bit with the hover or the flutter to make sure they don't die. With all that talk about how amazing Funky is, I do want to mention that Funky Kong actually is not per se easy mode. I mean, he makes surviving easier. And yeah, basically it's easier to get into the speed game as well. But it doesn't mean that he is per se easier. If anything, some tricks are made more complex. Which I definitely like about his playstyle. Kinda makes me think about Shovel Knight, where obviously you can go for the game with Shovel Knight, and then go for the exact same game with Spectre Knight. And that just changes the gameplay a lot, since the moveset is way different. I mean, it's less different than with Donkey and Funky Kong, but it's up there. The jump GreenSnowDog currently is going to do. Can be seen as difficult. I didn't expect him to die there actually. Alright, Newby just entered 2-2 Mountain Mania, and back with Cranky. The nickname was Reset Mania, but now, well, not anymore, I guess. Funky Kong does make a lot easier, and this is the first stage where you are with Rambi. And Rambi, except of being a rhinoceros. Oh, he's skipping Rambi there. You can definitely see he's one for the old threads, and they translate very well to Funky Kong. And this game also, yeah, this level also introduces momentum boosts, which you can see here what Newby is going to do. He's just going so fast by using forward momentum from the sling, whatever you'd call it. I see a question, who of these two runners is winning currently? And it's way too early to tell. Not only is this run about 1.5 hours to 1 hour 40, it's also an extremely hard game. It's easy to die, especially 13 minutes in. So Newby might have a lead right now, but it's only half a level. And there's enough chances for GreenSnowDog to actually, you know, change the tides just a little bit. As we've seen that during the tournament, especially yesterday. We had a Wii U runner, and although the Wii U is slower, he did win by a marginal amount. So Newby currently is in this level with the good music and this horn. And this is the first level which has a global cycle, meaning that if you've learned this level, where everything is the same, and then you make one slip up of a second, everything is going to be different. And that's exactly what Newby is experiencing right now, so he has to react to everything that's happening. He almost went into the bonus. This is way more punishing with Cranky again, since you have to land on such small platforms, and there are no aerial recovery moves. Newby just entered the second auto-scroller. Out of 5, luckily. And I do want to mention this level has bawling music. You don't want to jump too much in here, since there are a lot of pits. And not only that, it changes from a minecart to a boat. So there's something fun to say about this level, and we see that Newby is not a collector, or he might be, who knows. But at the end of this level, there's a giant machine, and during races, like back in the day, before I became a member of the community, as soon as a runner went into that machine, they would make a noise, like mechanical noise, like zzz, and the feet is freezing. Nice, thanks machine. But yeah, that noise was just to let the other runners know how well their run went, or not. This game definitely allows for some fun stuff. It was pretty easy to die on this spot here. So I will go and talk a lot about the old Donkey Kong route. And unfortunately, GreenSnowDog didn't make the jump. What happened actually? Oh, he jumped late. In any case, you would use Cranky for the majority of the speedrun, but in this level, 2-5, this is where you would trade him in for Dixie Kong, because Dixie Kong not only has a flutter and aerial movement, actually that's the only part. She's so much better in the air, and this level definitely, there's so much air and bouncy platforms that it definitely doesn't help being cranky. And then Funky came along and he just balled right through this level. I do want to mention that Funky Kong is a hybrid of all the characters, which is necessary Because there are some secret portals. We'll touch base on that later. However, Funky Kong can do anything and reach anything as Donkey Kong with his friends. However, his friends can't do everything. Like if something is behind spikes, you can definitely only use Cranky Kong. You need some height. Well, Diddy Kong is no good for that. And if there's a current underwater, then Dixie Kong is your girl for that. So I do want to mention to follow both of the runners. Because they're definitely doing a really good job. There's only one level of difference in between them. So Newby just entered 2.6, which is only for 50% an auto-scroller. However, you can definitely speed this one up by, as Newby is doing, only jumping when necessary. And try to hit the very beginning of the fine if possible. Because that will just pushes you just a little bit forward. And in time attack, it definitely counts. Will you get the O? Newby! I do want to mention on GreenSnowDog side, this is a pretty hard beginning. So him dying there just now is not... I don't want to say it. Newby just blasts through that level because of his years of experience with this game. I believe he already ran it in 2014. And right here, he can just get amazing velocity. And he has to do the climb. Bonked his head right there. But luckily, even though everything is crumbling beneath him, he's like going way too fast for that to even start to become a problem. Alright, good luck GreenSnowDog with this level. It's very easy to die here. But I say good luck as we have to talk about the next boss. And every runner will probably hate me if I say he's one of the best bosses in the game. Because he is the best boss of the game. But I think there are other bosses as well that share the spotlight. But in any case, Skull. Use an L. And use an L. Nah, sorry. He needs 3 hits from those egg, what are they called, chiclets? Whatever, and every phase is a little bit different. The first phase is pretty easy, as you just saw. And here they just come at you. And what you want to do is keep hold of the first one. Put the second one on the floor, but be fast, because he will despawn. Grab him after that, and then lay down the third one. And Newby just did his fight perfectly up until now. Because if he missed one of those in the second phase... Oh, there it happened. He fell. What did I say? If he missed it in the second phase, that would cost him about 15 seconds. First phase is a little bit more, but if you miss it... Well, all the attacks you're going to see now... If you miss one of the chiclets here, that will cost him at least 50 seconds, so he definitely wants to do his best right here. So grab that one. He's doing it cautiously though. So now, Skull's going to do an attack where he drops 4 giant eggs on the bottom. Or to the bottom. I guess Newby didn't know what kind of RNG he would have. Yeah, since you can only get 2 eggs here, you give him normal damage on the first phase and then the final egg. Don't throw it immediately because otherwise, bye-bye 50 seconds. Oh, you're not hearing audio? In that case, I'm going to switch over to GreenSnowDog's audio. I know that Newby's audio is pretty low. Not sure why that is. Oh, his volume was already at 183%. Yeah, Scowl is a really good boss, and I don't know if Newby knows, but the RNG is gone. Like, there's no RNG here anymore. Well, maybe minimal, but a lot of it has been set in stone on the Switch version. So mostly, you definitely know what to expect. So Newby just is in the second level, which has a global cycle. So you want to be as fast as possible. And this level just has the best music. We just gotta wait until GreenSnowDog comes here. I'm not sure if Newby is going for the strat, but you can go into the barrel here early. He's not going for it. It is hard though. I've only seen it done with Diddy Kong. Or, no, not Diddy, Dixie Kong. Their names are too similar. And that's 3-1. Well, SnowDog is definitely doing pretty alright here at the boss. I would assume he is more familiar with the pattern, as there is a set pattern for him. Whereas Newby, he's still doing cranky straps. So yeah, I'm unsure if he actually like studied everything. That was a magnet that stopped working. Nice. Anyway, 3-2. Baobab Bonanza, which is a pretty cool time attack stage. But other than that, not too much to talk about, except the end, I guess. And there was a perfect fight from GreenSnowDog as well. And Newby is not going for the... Oh, that almost cost him. But if you get all of the collectibles in the previous area, then a puzzle piece would appear, and since you do have to wait for that giant baobab fruit, whatever it's called. Oh, and this is the music I was talking about. It's that good. Unfortunately, I have to chime in because this is a pretty interesting level. There's a giant storm happening in here, and these hurricanes, they can either reject you or accept you and just let you go through. And it kind of depends on what where you are in the hurricane, as well as what way the hurricane is going. And this game has a trick if you decide to do it with Cranky. It's called the Dosido. And what I said earlier about Cranky Kong, where if you hop with him or you pogo with him, you would not lose speed. Well, that definitely is true for this level. Because you would go so fast, but the problem is setting up the Dosido. It's not hard, but it's hard to pull off, and it's pretty hard to maintain it as well. You gotta know where to do what jump exactly. So yeah, unreliable definitely is the word here. And GreenSnowDog just cut all of the grass with one roll. It's, I don't want to say random, but it's kind of timing based where you're going to appear at that final platform. And for some reason, actually for some reason, yeah, sometimes it just spawns you in the middle. Or then all the way on the left. So Newby is just appeared here in Scorching Torch, and it's pretty easy to get hit in this level. Luckily there's this one barrel, like a little bit later, here. Which he is not going for. I mean, he does have the health for it. There's like one. This is D1. One place, maybe the droplets right here. No, he's safe. It's pretty easy to get hit here. SnowDog just popped through this level. Okay, so Newby just switch over from Funky Kong to Donkey Kong. I'm not sure why he did that in this level. Oh, but for the next level I can definitely understand. So the level he's going to do, he has to wait for a Cranky cycle. I'm not sure if it's possible to do it like at all to get Cranky cycle the first time. But other than that, oh, that's something I should also explain. But first, you can probably see Newby hang around the top of the screen like all the time. This is the only rocket barrel level, also third auto show level, where you can just hold A for a bit and hold A and get that heart. However, he did evade it, but now he can just hold A all the way until the end. Because there's a secret barrel portal, like right in the middle. And that just skips half. Yeah, it just skips half this level, as well as a pretty longish level after this. So have fun holding A. Yeah, for Newby now, it is pretty important that he goes fast, because barrels will rotate from Diddy to Dixie to Cranky every minute or so. Every second or so. So, in some levels you can just make it and have a little bit of leeway and have to wait. Others you just miss it. And especially in those, if you miss it, you have to wait 2 seconds before the Kong that you want pops up again. And that, if that happens a lot, that is just bye-bye seconds. And because we're going to see it in World 4, underwater, it takes twice as long. So Diddy's, or every Kong stays on for 2 seconds and then switches over to the next one. So there's a 4-second time loss. Anyway, Bramble Scramble, that's a throwback to Donkey Kong Country 2, if you remember. I mean, not the level mechanic, but the name certainly does. And oh yeah, Cranky definitely is a master in this level. Except he doesn't have any aerial defense. Yo, Snowdog actually jumped into the bonus barrel. So that's the waiting now I was talking about. We're going to see it again. And again, with Funky, since he doesn't have any friends, it shouldn't be a problem for GreenSnowDog here, since he is the Funk. Oh, Newby not having the best of luck here. He has Cranky, but after that, that jump is just a little bit weird for him. Yeah, this level just built itself, so you never know what the jump after the next one is. But it is just so cool. And for us speedrunners, we kind of know where everything is and kind of know what's going to happen. So for us it shouldn't be a problem. If you know Donkey Kong Country 1, there's the Fear Factory. And speedrunners just have to know the level by heart. They need to be able to do it blindly. Otherwise you're gonna have to wait and yeah, anticipate, is this a platform or not? Do they need all puzzle pieces and Kong letters? No. Puzzle pieces do absolutely nothing other than unlock concept art, and Kong letters only unlock the temple bosses. But this is any percent, meaning that all he needs to do is just go to the boss as quickly as possible, and you don't need Kong letters for that. Ooh, don't get hit, Green Snow, and you made it! Nice. Alright, Newby currently is fighting the World 3 boss, Baboom, which is a pun, but I'm not going to explain it. And back on the Wii U version, this was a pretty nasty one. Because of all the RNG, that's not a thing anymore, or not that much. But I tried to be quiet for Stickaboo Symphony there, that you can only hear for 5 seconds in this whole game. That's unfortunate. What Newby currently is doing is he's trying to focus on one of the 3 monkeys. Or 2, or oh, we already killed 2 of them. Nice. Because every monkey has its own health, but if one of them gets killed, then the other monkeys, or monkey, will replenish its health. So you definitely want to focus on one of the monkeys. Kobe? Yo, Newby knows how to play basketball. Does Newby? Yeah, he does. He probably does. Of course he does. The strat is that if the ghost monkeys spawn to the left of him, you want to stay on the left side, and same for right, you want to stay on the right side, because that's where the watermelon bomb is going to spawn. Newby just entered the fourth world, and this is definitely where Donkey Kong will shine, because his buddy Diddy Kong, which you've never seen before, he's definitely the faster choice in the water. And not only is it faster, just look at how fast it goes. He's also controlled like way better. I kinda had to wait with how to work that, but luckily that helped. And his hitbox is smaller, because the corkscrew that you otherwise have to do if you don't have a partner, or if your name is Funky. Like this corkscrew that Donkey is doing right now. Okay, he missed the cycle, so now he has to wait for Dixie Kong, which is a 4-second time loss. And instead of doing Diddy Kong, he switched over to Dixie Kong for the sole reason because these currents are easier to do with Dixie Kong, and actually only possible. There's a secret exit portal, like right above here. This is the best hidden one of the game. And Dixie is the only one that actually can go for that one, so you need Dixie Kong there. It is possible to do it with Diddy Kong, however it's developer unintended and also pretty difficult, and doesn't save, or I would reckon it doesn't save any time. Funky Kong, however, doesn't need a partner for that. He's OP like that. Okay, good luck with the boss, GreenSnow. So Newby, this is actually a pretty cool level that we're in right now, because this is the only level. You can see that he started this level with Dixie Kong. He goes and switch over to Diddy Kong, and then somewhere later in this level there's another DK barrel, and there he will go and switch over to Cranky Kong. This is the only level in the whole run, and he missed the cycle, or wasn't possible, not sure. But this is the only level where there's a trifecta of all three of the characters. There was another level before, like 3 years ago before. But other than that, this is the only level at this point in time. Or Funky, I guess. And even though Diddy Kong was faster underwater, that's the only reason why you got him. The reason why you get Cranky Kong right now is because, like right here, full pogo, and he went straight into the exit portal. And that's the fastest you can do that. And I don't even know if you can do it at all. Actually, you can't do it. You can't do it with Diddy Kong, and maybe with Dixie Kong. That's like way hard. So you actually need Cranky Kong there. And again, Funky Kong definitely is the hero in that part, since he can just stand on spikes and bounce off spiked enemies. Newby just entered 4B, which is the secret after a secret. And he's slow here so that he can switch over to Diddy Kong, so that he can go fast again, because of course. And this is just a labyrinth of keys and chests that you want to unlock. But more importantly, the cool thing about this level, on the Wii U version at least, is there's a wall in the beginning, and it is possible with 2 players to dismount Diddy Kong from your back, and what you want to do is kinda push him out of bounds, and then you can go around the level and just swim to the ending barrel, so that you don't have to do this level. And because there is no skybox outside of, well, what you see, it does look like your Windows 95 thingy got crashed. Only old boys know what I'm talking about. But unfortunately, I don't know if they fixed collision or the wall is higher in the Switch version. So it's not all that doable on the Switch version. This is Newby. He does use it. Since he's playing on the Switch version, it's not possible for him to actually show it off. For the simple reason that the Switch version is faster in loads, Funky Kong is faster in a lot of levels. For that reason, we only have one Wii U runner still in the tournament, and he's still in actually. He won, yeah, he did a match yesterday and he won actually, against another new runner. So he actually only won because of experience, even with the game and his disadvantage. I'm actually pretty happy to see that Newby switched back over to Donkey Kong and Friends. Because we're now going into the only not underwater level. And Cranky Kong just is a beauty to control. GreenSnowDog is also just finishing up 4-1. He switched it over to Cranky just seamlessly. And this is faster than Funky Kong can do. However, he does need to wait here. Answering the question if there's an estimate between the load differences between any percent or Wii U and Switch. If you would do it deathless, the estimate is about 5 minutes. However, since on the Wii U version loads are kind of sporadic as well, like it's never consistent, it's not fair for Switch or Wii U versions to actually just give them like 5 minutes. It's always different. So yeah, about 5. That's all I can say. So Newby just switch over to Diddy Kong because the next level is on a water level again. And you saw him, instead of pounding those crates, he just fell off and used the jetpack to actually get into that. That's called crate skip. GreenSnowDog. While not cranky perfect, you did get a quick enter into the secret barrel over here. So Newby currently is in 4-6, I believe it is. And it's very important that Newby actually does this as perfect as possible, because he has to rely on barrel cycles. And he got this one. And since he doesn't have a lot of HP like Funky does, well, he has more, but you kind of want to keep Diddy Kong. So back on the Wii U, you could only spare like 1 hit. So you had to be very careful not to lose Diddy Kong. And you would definitely use some hits. And yes, he made that barrel cycle. If you miss a barrel cycle in the water, you actually not lose 2 seconds, but 4 seconds. After this level is over, I'm going to change the audio back to Newby since he is in front and hopefully is audible right now. Alright, and we're now going to the boss, and blink and you'll miss it. Because with Cranky Kong, this boss is just a breeze. This boss casually is like... it's like 4 minutes or so. But with speed strats and with definitely with Cranky, it's like, what, 50 seconds? With Funky it's about 10 seconds slower. But with Cranky it definitely is easier. Unfortunately he's going to lose Cranky right here because of health management. Cranky definitely makes it easier as well, since... oh, this might be... yeah, I saw it coming. This might be bad for Newby. Alright, let's see if the music switch... oh wow, that's way loud. Alright, now he has 2 spare hearts on Cranky. Because the difference between Cranky is he has an underwater attack, which is the only good use for him. However, it doesn't matter where you are with Cranky, you can hit him wherever. As with the corkscrew attack, you have to be outside of Fugu. And the only reason why this is possible is if you can see his butt, his hitbox is active. And that's still a pretty good Fugu fight. Yeah, this sounds a bit better. And if it's not, we'll hear in chat. So this is the longest load of the game. Because at the start of every world, all of the stage thingies get loaded as well as the level itself. So that's why the first load of every level is the slowest. However, it's still faster than the Wii U. So this is a beautiful level, and I'm kinda surprised why Newby didn't go back to Funky Kong. Because he definitely speeds this level up. Or well, for me at least. But Newby is a core Cranky runner. Oh, and this is actually pretty cool, because this level has a trick called the Trusting Trolley. If you stand... oh, he didn't trust the trolley, he actually... he actually stopped a little bit with the trolley. But if you just land on the front end as soon as possible, you would actually make it, or it will actually just not let you fall. Unfortunately, you didn't trust the trolley. playing with solo DK, by the way. There's no infinite roll, and no other aerial moves you can do. So it's always just a little bit of looking how you're going to do stuff with DK. GreenSnowDog is definitely taking use of damage abuses here in 4-6. Okay, Newby just entered 5-2, which is the 4th auto-scroller level. And now that we're here and we have some time on our hands, there is this thing where on the Wii U version you could actually buffer the inputs. It would not be any helpful for RTA runs like we're doing right now, but for time attacks, which have an in-game counter, it would definitely help. And yeah, this game has an in-game leaderboard, so the speed game was real on right here. And if you buffer all of those inputs, you would go so fast that in the first rocket level you just crash into the gate that's normally supposed to open, but you didn't give it time to open, so you would just die. And in this level, you're actually going so fast that you're going backwards. If you do this level while you're invisible, and somewhere in the middle of the level, you would just die. And that's 4-6 for GreenSnowDog. Let's see what happens with the final boss. Or final boss, Fugu. He's not that far just yet. Oh yes, I'd never took notice of it, but this is an elimination round in the losers bracket. Newby, who previously lost against Crenshaw, and GreenSnowDog lost from Jock MS. So whoever wins this gets to stay, and the other, fortunately, don't. There can only be one winner in the end. And the bracket definitely looks pretty good. Let me... Oh, someone already put the schedule in there. Amazing. In the brackets. So GreenSnowDog is actually doing pretty alright. He's just camping there, waiting for Fugu to bump him in the spikes, and I believe... Yeah, there he goes. First try Fugu for GreenSnowDog. Something that's also pretty cool is that if you're on one heart, he will always give you a heart. So you're supposed to never die, assuming you do the strats pretty alright. Okay, I do want to take note on the general theme of this level. In 5-1, you can see that all fruits are being harvested. Whereas in 5-2, until literally every other level in this world, except for 5-6, you can see that everything is processed. You can see these lemon slices just being cut up here. These watermelons are also getting cut. Square watermelons even, that's pretty Japanese. Oh, Newby actually switched back to Funky Kong, I didn't even see. Yeah, Funky does have an advantage in this level. Yeah, there's a story about this world, and I'm going to continue it right after this. Ooh, Newby went for the crunch ledge. There's a little ledge that not a lot of people know you can stand on. and just evades that eating plant. So GreenSnowDog is also approaching the meme, the trusting trolley. However, with Funky Kong, you don't need to trust the trolley as you can just jump over it. And that one barrel that Newby just entered, you can actually enter it before seeing it. Ah, Snowdog. The runners tried to do some camera manipulation to actually get in it like way earlier, so you didn't have to do the giant ascent. But unfortunately, to no avail, you actually have to do the ascent. Okay, this is a pretty something level. This is a pretty long level. As a DK runner, you need to keep your partner at the end, or like until the end. And at one DK barrel that Newby just threw, which is literally at the beginning of the level, there's only one of them in this whole stage. So better try to do this level damageless, but luckily with Funky Kong, that wouldn't need to be an issue. So waiting here for a watermelon bomb. And if you would actually lose your Buddy Kong, you would either restart the level, or just finish the level normally and go to the Jelly Jamboree of Shame, which is the next level. Obviously, of Shame is not in the title, but it's definitely a big shame. And Newby made it all the way to the end. Jelly Jamboree is a pretty slow level as you have to jump everywhere, as the whole, like literally all of the flooring is jelly. And the next level is just so much faster. It's called Gem and Gems, which is also an alliteration of the letter J. Every level name is an alliteration, by the by. And pretty cool music. I don't know if there's any food processing in there. I guess in the background. With back on Donkey Kong stress, you actually had to wait a lot on these thingies. Not only because you didn't want to do a lot of damage abuses, but just because you couldn't make it. You had to wait for about 4 or 5 thingies. Or this timed thingy. Yeah, timed stompy thingies. That's it. I can do language me. This is the last level of the game where there are global cycles, meaning the moment you start the level, everything happens, and if you get slow a little bit, well, you got to adapt to everything that's happening. It's like playing it blind. So this is the end. Newby tried to jump off that hood. Unfortunately, he missed, so he had to do the ending normally. GreenSnowDog just entering 5-3. So after all of the fruits have been processed, it's time to actually make something. And in Frosty Fruits, you will actually see the process of all of it getting transformed into ice cream. And this is also an ice level. And the ice level in this game is actually pretty good. If you roll, like, there's almost no effect of it. It doesn't hinder you, like, at all. I'm curious to see what Newby is doing right now. I guess this is all unintended. Yeah, you can get a lot of speed boost as well, as you can see right at that jump. Now I want a popsicle. Game developers, please take note of the ice physics. Thank you very much. Mega Man, Mario. And this is actually a pretty cool level to do time attacks in. And all of that is important, because if you actually just wait and watch the cutscene here, you can see the boss here, Bassmaster, the Unbreakable. He's just doing his thing, having an ice cream, and then Funky Kong comes and lets him drop his popsicle into the water. And this is actually a really good reason to be mad at Funky Kong and why he's your enemy. So he was doing nothing, just bully him into dropping his ice cream, and he's the bad guy? What is the game? This is so unfair. So Bassmaster, he is the longest boss fight of the game. And he was plagued by RNG, although it wasn't that bad. But luckily it's all set in stone right now. There's not a lot of stuff you can do to speed it up other than know what attack he's going to do. Security saying Funky Kong makes the game too easy. Yes, if you're playing casually for the speedrun, not per se easier, as he has a different moveset as Funky Kong, but yes, he is basically easy mode. Or original mode, where the original mode is hard mode. You get it? Neither do I. Please get the checkpoint, GreenSnow. So GreenSnowDog is taking a non-accidental death right there. Intentional, that's the word that I was looking for. Since he only had one heart left. And this is a hard game, you will definitely take damage, especially in this hallway of spiky fruits. So really important to know that the first ice cube that gets dropped there has the watermelon bomb. Oh, that's unfortunate. SnowDog is getting into the harder part of the level, and I guess also the game. World 5 is definitely where the difficulty ranks up. So, 4 more stacks of ice cubes, and this fight should be finished. And Funky and Bassmaster get hit at the same time. And there he goes. And GreenSnowDog made it to the end as well. So with Newby going to World 6, I am going to remind you guys, follow these runners at their channels, here are their links, and I'm going to put my thing in here as well. Hey, I'm Reckled, I'm new to this game as well, but also speedrun, etc. of other games. So that's my self-advertisement. Back to the game! Newby is going to 6-1, which is also a snow/ice level, I guess. And well, if you actually know what the title of this game is, Tropical Freeze, the whole last world is going to be icy. And not only that, if you have played Donkey Kong Country Returns, this level is a throwback to that game, since every level of this world, there are 8 levels here, and there were 8 worlds in Donkey Kong Returns. Technically there were 9, but that wasn't per se a world more than a bonus level. That's a nice jump. Yo, SnowDog is actually doing not too bad. However, he is low on hearts. Is he going to continue? Yes. And I'm actually going to help you there. DKCTF. The abbreviation of Tropical Freeze is hard, I know. And the bot helps itself, nice. So yeah, every level is a recreation of the world, or recreation. It shares a similar theme but frozen over. The first level was the jungle. This represents the beach. I mean, there's a lot of water. For the first time, you can't swim in the water because the water is way too cold. And the third level is are the ruins, and then the fourth level is the cave world. And if you have played Returns, there are only auto-scrollers in the fourth level, and well, this game will definitely not leave you hanging. So Newby took advantage of the water, just throwing you off to the nearest standable platform. Oh, don't get crushed in between the red eyes. I would reckon that would hurt. Oh, this is not looking good for SnowDog. Yeah, he got pierced. This is a pretty quick level, luckily. And other than that, there are a few skips you can do with. Other than that, just stay fast and use your double jump. Looking back at SnowDog's screen, I do want to mention that, ooh, saved by the hidden thingy, that the later levels in this game are definitely super hard, that you do need to practice all of them, and like a lot. Wait, what happened? You can skip this barrel over here since there's like no use for that. And then I'm not sure if Newby's going to do it. Like up here. Oh yes. You can just keep going up there and go into the barrel like before anything, and SnowDog got unfortunate and went into the secret area over here. At least he got accepted by the watermelons. I kinda wanna say that's a joke, however those watermelon trampolines can actually throw you the other way. It has to do with your subpixel? Nah, like you're not a perfect circle when you're rolling. Your hitbox is actually more of like a rectangle that's just rolling, I guess. And it kinda has to do with what side or if your corner is in the hitbox of the watermelon, I would say. Alright, 6-4! The cave level, or auto stroller. And this is a artificially hard level. Why? There are no other hearts. This is the hardest rocket barrel up to here, and there is only one checkpoint in the middle, which would actually make it a little bit easier. There could have been more checkpoints. But hey, those are semantics. Back at AGDQ 2015, Michael Goldfish did a solo run of this game, and one of the commentators was talking about vanilla, or about returns, when you only had one heart. And you had 2 hearts in Tropical Freeze on the Wii U, and you have 3 hearts with Funky. Because hey, easy mode. Goldfish heard that, and he was like, vanilla, let's go! Immediately took damage and just did the whole level with 1 heart. Oh. I just got word that SnowDog forfeits. I'm going to wait just a little bit in case he changes his mind. However, you're still getting to see a really cool run, as Newby actually has to finish off the run for it to count. Okay, in that case I'm giving him the forfeit sign. Oh, his screen froze even. Okay, so this level didn't want to leave you hanging. So this is a special kind of minecart, the snowball, and probably everyone who's played this game and came all the way here just thought it was a cutscene, just the game has a few cutscenes, and just didn't jump and then died at like the second or third bit and was like, what? Why? So yeah, please jump. It's a minecart. Look at the bottom, top left. Okay, so this is actually, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion, the hardest level. Especially with the momentum tricks that we're going to see Newby do, actually. Probably going to see it right here. Yeah, he's stopping. This is a momentum trick, and this is what makes doing this level optimally super difficult. You can take this like further all the way to this wheel over here, which you actually need to get further in the level. Other than that, there's just not a lot of floor to set foot on. This is the second one. This is the easiest one. And personally, I'm still not really into momentum stuff. I mean, I do the second one, but not optimally. When this game just came out, I didn't bought the game yet, and I mean the Switch version. I wanted to buy it, I didn't buy it yet, and I just saw a lot of cool stuff on Twitter, and I was like, wow, I need to buy this game. Because I knew I wanted to run it. I'm a DKC Returns runner myself as well. But enough about me. We're not going to see the Funky Kong exclusive momentum strats, which has the most stupid name ever. The Inca Dinka. I wanted to share that with you guys. But yeah, it's Funky exclusive. We still have 3 levels to go, and the final boss. And out of the 3 available levels, this is the only shadow levels, monochrome levels. Black and white levels, whatever you would call it. This level is really good for ILs as well. Oh! GreenSnowDog's switch might have overheated. We should do this tournament again when it's winter. However, seriously now, there's just a lot of potential for speeds. Yeah, let's call this a Game & Watch levels, I agree. Look at this animation though. The animation is wrong. It should be 1 frame a second. So Newby is just going to stand on specific places, like right there, to get all of the stuff doing his thing. And then he's just gonna walk off, hold right, and go into the barrel that he's supposed to go into. Normally you're supposed to climb all the way around, get into that barrel and shoot. However, that barrel is already loaded, so you can just walk into it and do that part just a little bit faster. Alright, 6-7, Frozen Frenzy. This is a pretty difficult level. And it reflects on the factory levels, or worlds rather, from Donkey Kong Returns. And the beginning is pretty tedious in the time attack, because the first 15 seconds you have, no more, 18 seconds. You have to do this whole waiting part. Is Newby going? He is going for the puzzle piece. I'm proud of this man. Alright, everything is, well, not everything, but a lot of it is electricity, and you just have to wait, make the correct jumps. So, in the run for Donkey Kong players, this is a Dixie level. However, and this is, I believe, only RTA fileable. Or, yeah, no, not RTA fileable. Time attack fileable. That's Cruncha made this level a cranky level, and even though he has to wait at the end for like a second or so, he's still faster than Dixie Kong, but it's oh so hard. Oh! I just looked at the backgrounds. Oh, we couldn't save that. Yeah, this game... what's the level name again? That guy is from a level... Oh, Handy Hazards. Now I want to know what the level is called. Do I have splits for this game? Yeah, handy hazards. You'll see a lot of assets from returns into these levels as well. This is the lava world. I mean, it's on top of a volcano. However, this is the worst level in a lot of players' opinion. Reason 1. Ramby. It's a Ramby level. And while that's not that big of a problem, the second reason is this is the fourth Ramby level. We've seen Ramby before in 2.2 and 3.3. However, you now have to be Ramby. And reason 3 why this is a bad level, you have to wait for a lot of things to just happen. Like right here, you have to wait for this ice block, a set of ice blocks to fall. Same for this walkway. And because every other level was just go, 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 and not wait, that's really a big contrast with this level. And it has the same music as 6.1 and 6.6. So you're like, not this music again. I mean, it's a pretty cool level. 3 times in a row. Actually, you never really get to hear the ending part, so this is actually pretty cool. But is this the same song? No, I'm not sure. Speed Gaming has a Discord server. I believe there are even 7 of them. Shout out to the Speed Gaming bot and the Speed Gaming people, by the way. I know, I'm just memeing Cyclone. Also, sorry if this wasn't public knowledge. Anyway, this is the final boss of the game, Lord Frederick, the Snowmat King. He starts off by jumping in the background and you have to throw ducks or fluffs right at his face, and then he will come to the foreground. This will not actually hurt him. He's now going to tackle here, and yeah, he just walks past, and he walks like around 3 times, and yeah, you have to hit him 3 times. If you miss one, you have to redo the, I don't want to say the whole fight, but the whole phase. Second phase starts, and for now it's time that, of course, this is an ice boss as well. And hey, GreenSnowDog, welcome.
Hello.
So sorry to hear that your Switch got overheated.
Yeah, first my screen froze, and I thought, oh, I can fix this. Well, after I played it, but gotta turn it back on, and yeah.
Oh, that's awful. Newby just hit both of the, or all 3 of the hits, so he's going to phase 3 right now. And he's doing this attack where it rises all of the platforms. And here in the Switch version, as I said, there is no, or not a lot of RNG in the boss fights. So There were 2 different patterns. Unfortunately, you got the fastest one. And it has the best name as well, Pissing Your Pants. And after that, it should be the same, knowing Newby. Actually, now that we're here, let's see, what is his best time? I remember him not having a time in the leaderboards. We person, however, Newby. Oh, here he is. 133. But this is not the Wii U person. Oh, that was perfect, as Frederick actually sped up during the second and third phase. So it was harder to hit him. And that's Newby finishing. GG. 130.47. Alright, let's see if he wants to join for a post-interview. So I'm just gonna lower it myself. Yo, Newby!
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yo, nice run, dude. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. That was okay. I screwed up quite a bit in the middle there. But whatever. I think this is like a Switch PB for me, so that's pretty good.
It might be. I mean, you still don't have a time on the leaderboards.
I know, because I'm not happy with any run that I've done so far on Switch.
I mean, it makes my 7th place the more special, so I'm happy.
There you go. I'll leave you up there for a while.
Thank you. You got any other remarks about your run?
Not really. I practiced Frederick a lot at the end, so I'm glad I got 9 for 9, because I had been missing all the setups, so... that's it. Yeah, I'm happy that I nailed that.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. I did see that you did a lot of old cranky strats, especially with Pompey, for example.
Yeah, I don't know the new Pompey strats yet. I haven't actually sat down and learned them, so I just try to do the old stuff still.
I mean, better safe than sorry.
It works. It kind of works. Finished the boss, so that's good. Yeah, that's it. I forgot to switch back to Funky in 5-1, so that was a hot mess because I had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
I was too distracted with my internet, and then I was like, oh, I'm still DK. This should be fun.
Yeah, I was wondering why you didn't turn back.
I just forgot, that's all. Yeah.
You got any remarks about your run, GreenSnowDog? Other than the Switch not being the most friendly guy?
That sucks, man.
Just hope I would finish. But things happen.
You did well, dude. Yeah, this is something that could not have been avoided, I guess.
Mm.
Or if you were... I forgot his name. The guy that only that only plays games in a walk-in freezer.
What?
Okay.
Oh, there's this guy in chat. Where is he?
Mm.
I can
All right.
change his joke every time. Whatever.
I'm out here, guys. Thank you for commentary,
Right.
and GreenSnowDog, thanks for the match.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, you are going to play against either me or Jomanes or Michael Goldfish. It's probably not going to be Michael.
Yeah, he's in the winner's bracket, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he is, and he's going to play against Jomanes.
Mm.
Well, I'm not sure who he is, but if he's a new one, safe to say Michael is going to advance. I'm going to play against that guy.
Mm.
And then you're going to play against either him or myself.
One of you. Cool. So I got some time before my next match.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right, sounds good. Should be some good matches coming up too.
Yeah, definitely. There's nothing on the schedule as of right now, but that's because SGDQ just ended.
Yeah, everyone was away. Yeah, a couple people were not here, so. Cool. Thanks for the stream, everybody. Speed Gaming.
Yes, shout out to Speed Gaming for actually letting us host our tournament on their channels.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to follow both Newby and GreenSnowDog. Links are in the chat if you scroll up just a little bit. And with that, Speed Gaming is going to be down for 2 hours, maybe a rerun, and after that, at 3 p.m. Eastern, going to have a Link to the Past randomizer tournament race between Jighart and Asasis. Oh, all those names. Yeah, that's going to be it for us today.
See you later.
Have a good one. Oh, I might have lost.